Hello everybody. We're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get right to it. Get about 30 minutes over work time. Let's do our usual watch the test movie, then we'll go from there. I got a couple ideas I want to test out. We already got some stuff loaded up and we'll go from there. But it's important that we do these test movies just because we need to see if none of the keyframes got mixed around. It does happen from time to time. We have to be very, very careful. Keyframes, layers get messed up. A lot of things get messed up with Adobe Animate, unfortunately. But tonight is primarily just gonna be an Adobe Animate night. I'm trying to save Aseprite work for the weekend, but we'll see. If I have to go to Aseprite, we'll go to Aseprite, but I doubt we need to do it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one watch. I'm gonna have Satoros attack Isaac. He's gonna transition Isaac into the front of Mercury Lighthouse again. Then we'll go from there. We're doing these shorter streams because it's a lot easier for people to watch 30-minute streams, in my honest opinion. Because 4-hour streams that we used to do, 2-hour to 4-hour streams are really long. really long. But we'll see. So, as mentioned, we're primarily just making sure none of the keyframes got mixed up because it does happen from time to time. Layers do get screwed up. For example, Mia's FX2 layer is screwed up right now. Really bad. So I just gotta keep an eye on that. The way I'll know if something's screwed up, look at Minardi's aura. Minardi's aura will stay active in the next scene in a different position. But so far, it's looking pretty good. Now, like I said before, eventually, once we get to the actual script writing phase, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. We're not seeing anything yet, so everything does look good. And as I mentioned before, one of my biggest regrets is I didn't make Emil a little bit bigger. We could have added more things, but I haven't done anything to that scale before in Adobe Animate, so I didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't know whether or not it was going to be laggy or not, but it wasn't laggy. So next time when I have to actually make a new backdrop for a city, we're good. I'll probably have Garrett's body somewhere over here. We'll see. But for now, let's actually transition back over here. Also, as usual, don't drink unless you're an adult. Cherish your livers. Eagle-eyed viewers of these VODs, and once this is actually done, will notice that I'm not having Isaac do any Earth stuff. There's a plot-specific reason why he's not doing anything. And as usual, no Ivans were harmed in the making of this. Okay, let's get right to it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Kaya's effects because I actually had this loaded up. Satoros from this position is gonna do like the horizontal flame sword slash. Isaac will block it, but the force will blast Isaac all the way off screen into the next transition. So I have the effects loaded up. I'm going to be very careful with this specific FLA set this FLA set is very notorious for causing crashes. All right, so while I wait for this to load up, I'll explain. So with Adobe Animate, this version of Adobe Animate, you have to be very careful because ActionScript 2.0 files aren't really compatible with this. What that means is this version of Adobe Animate takes ActionScript 3.0. Some effects may work if they're 2.0. If not, Adobe Animate won't register them properly. This is kind of bad, especially if Adobe Animate views it as corrupt, because Adobe Animate is not the best program. It does its job, but if it views something as corrupt, instead of not using that specific file, it will view the whole entire project as corrupt. The way you'll know if your project's corrupt is if your symbols get removed and get replaced by a white circle. If that's the case, you have to remove what file Adobe Animate views as corrupt, or else your whole entire project will get corrupted. While I wait for this to load up, I'll give you guys a good example. I'm actually waiting for this to load up. This is exactly why I keep all my reference files. So give me one moment while I bring it up. It was, I believe it was Revelations. Yes, it was Revelation. No, Desperation. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Yes. All right, cover your ears because this is probably gonna be loud as fuck. And again, the reason why I keep these videos, you're going to see me in a second. The reason why I keep these videos is because I'm not the best at explaining stuff. So it's better showing people stuff so we know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. So we're going to have to play it from here. Also, this is back when I was still using CapCut for text boxes. Unfortunately, Bad Jenna's mugshot and frame got screwed up. But just give it a second. You're gonna see it in a moment. I was actually pretty salty because I didn't notice it until after I uploaded it on YouTube. I'm like, all right, fuck it, it's there. So you're gonna see her mugshot and frame. I think it stays longer than the text box. You'll see it in a second. There we go. Yeah, right there. I was so salty. I'm like, damn it. This is why I don't use CapCut for text boxes anymore. I just use DaVinci Resolve for that. But as you can see, there we go again. So, as mentioned before, if you see, you're not going to see it here, but I'm going to show you how bad this is once you have a lot of assets on the screen. Bear with that for a second. We're going to pause it in a moment. All right, perfect. So we have Satoros, Minardi, Felix, Jenna, Creighton, Isaac, Garrett, Ivan, Mia. We have a lot of things on the screen right now. So something was it was Jenna's sprite, actually, her overworld sprite. As soon as Minardi's text box goes out of the way, I'll show you guys something. I think the best way to show is when Mia actually swears. Just give me a moment. All right, bear with me. And I was actually all right, perfect. So right now, Jenna's overworld sprite. If you've obviously we've played the game since people are watching these VODs and these sprite animations. So Golden Sun sprites move from left, right, up, down, depending on the overworld sprite. Jenna, her sprite, for some weird reason, it loses transparency on frame 7. I believe it was frame 7. It was one of those frames, it loses transparency. So a white box would show up right around her. Adobe Animate did not like that. It viewed her overworld sprite as corrupt. So little by little, it started replacing all the symbols, because all these are symbols right now. Kraden's, Jenna's, Felix's, Minardi, Satoru's. All these are symbols right now. So because of that random transparency, it viewed the whole entire project as corrupt. So it got rid of everything. All these got replaced with white circles. I didn't figure it out until I did a little bit more research. So the way it is, this overworld sprite is a GIF. It's a transparent GIF. So if it's transparent, why is there a white box showing up? This is why Adobe Animate viewed it as corrupt. And instead of doing the right thing and saying, all right, you can't use this specific overworld sprite, it just said, fuck it, we're just gonna completely and utterly destroy the entire project. So for me to remedy this, I had to turn Jenna's overworld sprite into a button. So everybody else is moving. As you can see, Felix is going through his animations. Everybody here is moving besides Jenna. She's frozen quite literally right there. We're gonna show something off real quick. Give it a sec. Let's see. I think it was when we had to flip her. Give it a sec. We're gonna get back to the sprite animation, but this is actually very important. Also, as you can see, not moving. And again, this is very good that we're actually keeping these, because we could actually show what the problem was with some of these overworld sprites and the ways to fix them. Jenna's sprite's gonna turn around in a second, and I'm gonna pause it. Also, it's so weird seeing Mia's mugshot. Damn it. I don't want to skip this just because the moment I skip this, Windows Media Player is going to freeze. Because I have so many assets going on right now. But this is good just to show things. Also, it's so weird seeing Garrett's mugshot after I've updated it. He currently does have a new mugshot, even though I do have to fix it. Also, Satoru's is frozen too. He's not moving because I didn't want to take any chances with Satoru's. Satoru's overworld sprite's kind of weird too. So Satoru's is not moving. Everybody else is moving besides Satoru's, Jenna, and Kraden. So I didn't see any weird transparency stuff with them. All right, So pay attention to Jenna's overall sprite. Okay, so again, we can't have her moving, so we had to turn her around, add the tint, and pray to God her sprite did not move. And that was the fix. So Jenna's overall sprite is cursed, at least according to Adobe Animate. All right, back to this. So again, this is why you have to be very careful, specifically with certain FLA files. This, I don't know. Because we've had instances where certain effects they can cause issues. All right, so back to this. I really hope this is the right one. I was so sad if it isn't. All right, this actually is it. Okay. We're probably going to be using flame cut, but let's just make sure there's nothing else. Oh, that is extremely cool. I'm not going to deny it. So the main goal is having Isaac transition into the next screen. So let's try flame/1. All right, Mercury Lighthouse. We're gonna put this in, paste this here. We're gonna go back here. Let's have Isaac dash towards Satoros. Insert T front. No, we have to do this. Insert this, copy, paste this right here. We're going to use the arrow keys to bring Isaac back. We're going to turn on onioning just to make sure we have the proper position. Perfect. Okay, we're going to make it a very quick dash. So remember, there's the point A, we need a point B where Isaac's going to end up. So I think right here should be good. We're just using the arrow keys just to make sure Isaac stays on the x-axis in the proper position. I think right here should be good. Perfect. So we have a point A and a point B. So if you don't add a tween to this, it's gonna look stupid. You're just gonna have Isaac right there, teleporting right here. It looks dumb. So we need him to have proper movement. So right click anywhere in between point A and point B. Click classic tween. So what classic tween does, it gives you a classic ease. We're gonna take up onioning so you actually see this. This is how classic Sonic moves in Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. But me personally, I like using ease in and out. Ease in, you ease into the movement, then you go. It looks a little bit more natural in my honest opinion. So we're gonna click anywhere in between the tween right now. Go to effect. You can't see because OBS is stupid. Click ease in and out. Quad. Now we have a good movement. He eases into it, then he goes. So what we have to do now is we're going to have Satoru / Isaac right here. Paste this. I'm going to turn on onioning. Would this been a little bit better? What I could have did, honestly, which I probably should. Do I want to do it right now? Fuck it, we're gonna do it. All right, Aseprite we go. Aseprite is gonna be your bread and butter when it comes to sprite animation, because you can be spending the majority of your time in Aseprite. The only reason why we're going to Aseprite because it looks weird having Sartorius's rear leg just off the ground. So we're gonna extend Sartorius's leg downward. Aseprite, bring it here. I like using 128 by 128. We're gonna grab Sartorius's attack and sprite. Go to some project, game assets. Actually, go to some lore, antagonist, Sartorius. We'll be using his attack and sprite. Simple enough. We're gonna grab the whole thing. We're gonna copy it. Sprite 1. We do 128 by 128 so we can give ourselves plenty of work room. So what we're gonna do is the problem with this sprite already is we're gonna probably have to redraw right here. Not gonna be a big deal. Might look kind of weird, but we can get this to work. And again, the reason why is because it's not bad. This will work. The reason why we didn't do the other one, the reason why we're changing it is just because it looks so weird that his rear leg is off the ground. Because again, these sprites are made for a JRPG. You have your attack, you have your attack end. Your attack end, it's character dependent, but was hit with his leg is off the ground after he ends his attack. But in a sprite animation environment, when we were having him do his attack end as a projectile type of attack, it's weird having his rear leg up. It's very weird. I'm tied up at the moment. You son of a bitch. I hate you. Ah, damn it. I hate you. My buddy asked me to duel. Fuck. Okay. Okay, so I think this is fine. We don't need to do anything else words. So we'll call this new Sartorius attack end. Game assets. No. Why am I so blind? Go to some lore, antagonist. We'll call this new Sartorius attack end. Like I said before, I know I did waste a little bit of time tonight because I needed to show issues that Adobe Animate will have, and I'm not the best at explaining stuff while I'm streaming. This is why I use my old reference videos as point of reference, so you can actually see what the hell I'm talking about. So I did waste a few minutes. I'm trying to at least make these streams about 30 minutes long for easy viewing, because watching streams for an hour, I don't know. Some people can do it, some people can't. So we're gonna kind of expedite this a little bit. Game assets. Whenever I make a new sprite, I bring it to the test background. And the reason why we bring things to the test background is because the line here represents the x-axis on Adobe Animate. The line here represents the y-axis. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to bring it back up again. Also, Character Sprite, I'm really liking the way it came out. We had to do that from the ground up. I'm very happy with the way it came out. But Adobe Animate, Aseprite is going to be your primary bread and butter when it comes to stuff like this, everybody. Do not let it intimidate you. Oh, toxicity. Got off the Dim Dragon. Okay, the fuck did it go? Oh. Copy this. We always use Sarah as a point of reference. Yeah, perfect. This works. All right. So that's Aseprite, everybody. Now we're ready to put this back in. Library. We're gonna get rid of this. We can keep the other one in, but we'll end up using the new one. Okay. Keyframe. Remember, when you're introducing new symbols, you have to make sure the camera is off, and you have to make sure it's a symbol. What it works. So we're gonna make sure we're on the right layer, which is here, Satoros. Put them there. Go to modify, bitmap, trace bitmap, color threshold on 1, minimum area 1 pixels, corner threshold many corners, curve fit pixels. Click OK. From there, we're gonna, now it's a symbol. Now you can resize it however you see fit. Actually, I skipped a step. Sorry. See, this is what happens when I try to expedite things. So what we just did is trace the bitmap. From there, press F8 on your keyboard. F8. Now you're converting it to a symbol. Call it whatever you want to call it. What we call this new Satoros attack end. Perfect. New Satoros attack end. Now we can resize this to wherever we see fit. So we're going to go back. We're going to take his attack end from here. Same size. 240.45, 170 by 45. Perfect. So this should go as such. And probably, let's make this a little tiny bit taller. He's only low profiling a little bit downwards. We're gonna save it. We're gonna get Flame Slash and see how this looks. We're gonna do a few more minutes, everybody. I know I kind of wasted a little bit of time showing something, but I'm not the best at explaining stuff. So Flame Slash, let's put it under Satoros Effects. One keyframe, Flame Slash. We're gonna put it right here. We're gonna turn on the camera again. Right there. Perfect. We're gonna resize this. Perfect. Like right there should be good. We're gonna turn this into a graphic. Oh, it's already a graphic. Perfect. So we're gonna see when this starts and when this ends. right there. Perfect. Blank keyframe. We're gonna have Isaac's sprite go transition off screen. Actually, let's just have him block. We can't keep on having Isaac getting ragdolled everywhere. Perfect. We're gonna insert blank keyframe here. We're gonna paste Isaac's block. We're gonna get rid of well, first of all, we're gonna bring it right here. Luckily, I can still see where he's at. We're gonna rotate him. Transform, flip horizontal. We're gonna get rid of this tween. We're gonna insert a quick keyframe. We're gonna insert, yeah, we're gonna make it a very quick keyframe. Perfect. So this should go like this. Perfect. All right, let's save it. Well, first of all, disappear. Let's have you disappear. Then we'll transition to the next stage. We'll keep the stage up for now. Let's watch the movie and then we'll wrap things up. So tonight we did a little bit of Aseprite. We did a little bit of Adobe Animate. I showed what could happen if your project is corrupted. Unfortunately, I can't show it in real time because that would involve me having to actually corrupt this project, which I'm not trying to do because we are approaching 12,000 frames. Adobe Animate only gives you 16,000 frames, so we have about 4,000 frames left of space to work with. So I'd rather not have this project corrupted this deep into it. Like, we're quite literally about to be done. Or, long story short, I'm not trying to fuck around and find out. Also, this is like clicked away right now. Just give me a second. Damn, this dude's remix is going off the charts. I like it. It's just the background for the thumbnail kind of throws me off. So let's just listen to it real quick. It's very catchy. So it's such a good remix. Do 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 do. It's one of my regrets. I could have made this so much better. I gotta come up with a name for you. I definitely gotta come up with a name for you later. I just don't know what to call you. And again, for those not familiar, this project is pretty much a reimagining of Golden Sun 1 and 2 story. More adult oriented, more mature. Pretty much more adult oriented and mature and darker. Our goal is to give characters that didn't have the time in the sun more limelight, fix plot holes, and just make things a little bit more entertaining. That's why me and Minority have been such a focus for like a while, because very underutilized characters, unfortunately. Very good remix. Even more toxicity. Humans are busted in this series. Looking at you, Moapa, in your ragtag group of knights that spam bramble seeds, or Briggs and his posse, echo cuts. Okay, that has to be. I like it, but I feel it's lacking. I like it. I do like it, really do. But I think the other one will probably be a little bit better. Maybe a projectile. Maybe. Oh, the hype. Yes, the hype. I forgot about you. You were hype. We'll still keep that there. I'll probably use it later for something else. I'll be very mad if one of these is corrupted. I'll be very, very mad. At least I'll know why it's corrupted, but shit, that's gonna suck. Okay. Go right there. Damn, that's tiny. Holy shit, that was tiny. Alright, we gotta modify this. Transform it, flip horizontal. No! You son of a... give me a sec. There we go. Die. Oh! Ah, alright. Okay, it looks like, God, it looks so cool. But unfortunately, it does look like the connection is being asked right now. So I shouldn't fuck around and find out with this. Because we just dropped connection for some weird reason. That was cool. All right, let's do one rewatch, then we'll wrap it up. Because I do apologize for the drop in connection. Sometimes it does happen when there's a bad storm out there. We did an extra 10 minutes because I was showing off stuff earlier. But we're trying to keep these streams down to at least 30 to 40 minutes for easier viewing. But I did take like at least 10 minutes to actually do this. So I do apologize for that. Okay, let's just have the rest of the chill stream just watching this. But if people do want me to do these longer streams, just let me know. I just feel personally 30 minutes is a sweet spot for people just to relax, see some stuff, hang out, just go on the rest of their days. Pretty soon we're gonna have to start wrapping up Mercury Lighthouse, because I have to start. The fights have to stop eventually. And to be honest, my biggest worry, like I mentioned before, with Kaya's effects is a lot of them are ActionScript 2.0 and they're not compatible with 3.0. So I'm playing with fire, quite literally playing with fire with some of them. This is why I use some of the effects that I use. I know, I'll never forget a comment that I got months ago about some of the effects being jarring with the pixels and the rest of the backgrounds. It's like, yeah, that's totally understandable, but we can only do what we can do. Just the fact we even got to this point with these sprites is a win in its own book, because this is like massive, especially if you love Golden Sun and you like sprite animation. This shows that this is possible, because again, these sprites are JRPG sprites. Just so you know, you're gonna be spending a lot of time in Aseprite getting these guys to actually work right, because using the main cast, all 8 characters, they all have 21. They should have at least 21 sprites. Antagonists have about 11. And this is not counting enemies. Enemies, yeah, you're gonna be working for days. But anything is possible. You just have to make the time and effort. I'm not gonna try to deter anybody from taking this leap. Just so you know, this is possible. It's just gonna take a lot of work. Like for example, Minardi over there is color matched to her promo image, because in-game, she's actually wearing extremely red, vibrant clothing because of limitations. But in her promo art, she's wearing dull violet everywhere. And the back of her cape is red instead of being purple. But anyways, like I said, it's like, this is possible. It's just you're gonna be working hard on this. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna try to deter you from taking up a project like this. You just have to make time, effort, and be patient. Because again, these are JRPG sprites. They're not made for this type of environment. Alright, gotta pay attention. I'm gonna add ripple effects to this later. Perfect. We're good. We cooked. We definitely cooked. All right. So tomorrow we're gonna transition into the next stage. Then we can actually start wrapping this up. So besides that, as usual, thank you for stopping by. Enjoy the VOD crew. And at the end of the day, you guys are gonna make this project possible. Like I said earlier, I'm not gonna deter you guys from taking something like this up. Just so you know, you're gonna be working hard. Aseprite is gonna be your primary workhorse. Your Sprite animation tool software of choice. Mine's Adobe Animate. I use DaVinci Resolve for text box dialogues and certain effects. CapCut version 1.5 for the paywall is what I use for all the fluff effects. Any questions, leave in the comment section. Besides that, enjoy the VOD and I'll see y'all tomorrow. 30 to 40 minutes every night. Bye-bye, guys.